Okay, we're up.
I'm back.
And we're live.
Okay.
You can go and tweet it out.
Yeah, it's not showing up yet.
It is in YouTube. I got it in YouTube.
Yeah, I'm refreshing
I don't see
right
it
now.
on Facebook yet.
In Facebook, guys.
You put it out there, guys?
No, go ahead.
I just saw that.
What's up, everybody? I am Scott Smokin Silz, and I want to welcome you back to the channel. It's Lunch in the Ref Room with me and Brad Baumruck. and our special guest today, Mr. Dave Zednik. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Hockey season has returned. We're all pretty excited about that. Actually, we were very excited about that. And today on the show, we are going to be talking about the future of hockey for us because it's almost seminar time, and we've got a lot of updated information for everybody. So that's why we've got Mr. Zednik with us. For those of you that don't know Dave Zednik, he is a insider in Illinois hockey. He is a scheduler, a board member, a referee. He works for the NHL. All the accolades. He's one of the good guys. So we're really excited to have him.
Toes wet and everything.
What's that?
He's got his toes wet and everything. I'll tell you that. Let me tell you, he's at every place and every rink that I go to, and it's like a monkey on my back every time I walk in.
All right, so a couple things, guys. For all you guys out there that are watching today, first of all, thank you for joining us. I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that. All you have to do is go to YouTube and search Ref Room. We probably will have the best quality over there in terms of viewing the program. You can also catch the replays afterwards. If you would like to ask questions, we're going to do some Q&A today. Please identify your question with a Q in front of it so we can look at the comments. It's your show, so we'd love to talk about what you guys want to talk about, and we definitely want to take some questions and make you a part of it. So with that being said, we're going to get started, and we're going to bring in Mr. Zednik. So welcome, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. I'm glad to be here and get some of the correct information out and stop the speculation.
Okay, well, what are you referring to? What's the speculation that's been out there? Let's talk about these seminars.
As far as seminars, what's going on? USA Hockey in the last 2-3 weeks have come up with it where most seminars are going to be virtual. You're going to have to register with USA Hockey, as you always do, and then you'll pick your seminar then. The seminar should be posted within the next week. We're just having problems getting everything put together because they'll say we have to put the virtual seminar together. You can take out of state if you want to, but we're trying to gear our Illinois seminars to Illinois official. And so we're writing purposely for you guys. So you'll have some COVID information, you'll have the typical stuff. Level 2, 3s, and 4s will be all virtual. Level 1 seminars will be 2 weeknights, probably Tuesday, Wednesday before a skating seminar. So it'll be 2 hours each night. Then the following Saturday or Sunday, you'll have an hour's worth of ice, and that'll be your seminar. We think it's very good to have and very important to have the level 1s actually have face-to-face seminars and be with people so you get to know who they are and all that good stuff. So once we get these posted, you'll pick out your seminar. You'll also have to register with IHOA. The rates have been dropped. The fees have been dropped to $25 this year because of the COVID. And since it is virtual, we do have our costs in IHOA, such as Zoom, Skype, and all this. And to do it as a business, it's not cheap. So somebody's got to pay for it. Also, we have to buy ice for the level 1s. If we actually only had the level 1s pay their correct fee, it'd probably be almost $50 per level 1 official. And I don't think that's right. We've been all doing games for a long time. I don't think $25 is that big of a deal to do. So we are trying to save people money that way also.
So Dave, we're trying to offset the cost of the level 1 officials that are going to get a virtual seminar, and then on top of that, our level 2, 3s, and 4s are getting a discounted rate at the same time. So we're just shifting our normal costs to everybody else, correct?
Correct. So all helping out. So level 2s, 3s, and 4s are helping out the level 1s.
Okay. All right, Dave, here's the big question. How many referees did we have last year?
Last year, the last 2 years, the number has almost been stagnant as 1,430, of which we have somewhere skating between 800 and 900. We have a lot of coaches who take it. We have players who become officials and not ref one game. It just happens. You know what I mean? A father goes with his son, he pays for the seminar because he wants to do something with his son and know what his son's doing. And then, so he's an actual official, but he never works a game. And last year we had over 30,000 games that were AI games on the books. I'm not talking about the off the books, the different men's league games. That's fine. Johnny's and that. We probably have over 50,000 games in the state, in the Chicago area every year that are being refereed by under 1,000 officials.
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, hats off to you guys for scheduling it, and hats off to all the guys that work all these games, because I don't think people really know how much work goes into it and getting there and, prepping and everything else and the testing. One of the things that we definitely want to do on this show is, I know the referees have been joining us, but we are truly looking for players, coaches, parents to come join us, because we'd like to share some of our experiences with these people. As a referee, there's always a lot of comments in the building and questions and things of that nature. But here's a really great forum for you guys to ask questions and find out why referees do things certain ways, or, why is that guy showing up late to my game? Well, because he came from a high school game, or he came from an overtime game, or whatever the case may be. Things of that nature. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into, getting from point A to point B when you're in 3 or 4 different rinks in a given day. And, we have traffic situations, we have games that run late, a Zamboni breaks down, whatever the case may be. So these are all things that go into consideration when we're doing these 50,000 games, people. So, we love what we do, and we're very dedicated. And I don't think everybody always knows how dedicated everybody in this group is with those 800 or 900 officials. So, Dave, basically this time of year, are we on par to get the same amount of referees back? Do you think we'll be able to increase? I know it's kind of early because we've really just opened up registration with USA Hockey in like the last month, I guess. But we do have some new things to talk about with that as well. So where are we at this point? Where will we go, with what's going on in the country right now or in the world?
Well, that's the jackpot question right now. To be very honest, we really don't know. In doing our budget for our whole last year, we worked on whether we have 900 all the way to 1,500 officials. And we had to figure out, we don't know how many, because of this pandemic, how many people are going to come back and be officials, or even sign up to be officials, or want to be officials. So we honestly don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know when the games are going to be starting. You're seeing games now. Last weekend was the CCM tournament, the shuffle. It was on TBM. We assigned those games. We thought we were going to have a lot of problem getting officials to the games just because of the situation now. And we actually didn't have problems getting. We had a lot of guys who wanted to work a lot of games. Just like us, we're excited to be back on the ice and doing something we all love.
Absolutely.
So, we really don't know how many. I think the big thing is, I figure most of the level 3s and 4s will return. Level 2s, possibly. Level 1s, we have no idea how many new referees we're going to get. No idea. This has always been, refereeing has always been an outlet for people who are unemployed between jobs to subsidize themselves. And so I see a couple fathers already, like, my son's a referee. How do I become a referee? I have time now because I'm unemployed. So we might actually get more referees that way. But until that happens, we don't know. We're looking at opening up registration approximately August 1st is our goal date, to be honest. It says on the internet right now on the Iowa website July 28th as of yesterday. I haven't checked it today. But to be honest, it'll probably be pushed back because of beta testing to make sure everything's running smooth. And we also have to have the people to teach these virtual seminars and also the ice time. So we're just waiting on that.
So, Brad, I'm going to ask you the question, and that is, I know you guys had been asking for people to, prepare for teaching the seminars and that sort of thing. Is everybody pretty much on board that you've talked to, or do we have some guys that are kind of thinking maybe this is not the year for me to return with what's going on? Or, what are you hearing from your friends and your fellow officials at this point?
Yeah, from our constituents basis, there's a little good political term since we have a November vote coming up here.
Well, that's when COVID goes away, doesn't it?
That's what the internet says. But anyway, so right now, lots of people have said yes adamantly, and they want to be involved. But I have had some older members of the group that are not comfortable doing online seminars. And as much as we love them, the bad part is this year, because of how everything's going, USA Hockey is going to make them sit in one of our seminars, which I think they'll understand and we understand, even certified instructor-wise. The hard part is right now, I don't think anybody knows, because I don't think you know, Zed. Are we allowed to use assistants except for on ice?
No, they all have to be certified instructors for their virtual seminars.
Yeah, so it's going to be a tough part for us, especially because we normally put on 18 or 19 events, and we use approximately, I think, 108 officials to put those on, and I think 58 of them are certified. The good news is you only need 2 instructors basically to run a meeting, so that'll help out, and then a third, which is going to oversee the meeting, which is going to be one of us that's on the oversight committee, I guess, right, Dave? I think that's what we deemed ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it. Craig, Walter, Brad, and I are basically we got to be at every seminar and running.
And our referee in chief, Eric Kausel.
Yeah, we're also, just so everyone knows, the level 2, 3s, and 4 seminars aren't probably will have 1 or 2 on weekends, but most of them are going to be on weeknights because they're only going to be 2.5-hour seminars. We don't need to have the big long ones. Why do it on a Saturday? We have enough things to do on a weekend. That's what we're looking at doing, is doing it during the week, so you can get out, so we can get it done. 7 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, we're done. You got your seminar. Now, the one thing that's going to happen, there is going to be what they're calling a closed book test. When you complete your seminar, I will send in your attendance, and we're going to keep, it's easy to walk away from a computer, but we're developing ways to monitor who's at their computer or not by throwing little questions out there. Did you have say 30 seconds to answer a question. You don't answer it, you're logged out. You're not at the seminar anymore. You took a walk on us. Yeah, I mean, so we're keeping an eye on it.
There's no pee breaks, apparently.
Pardon?
There's no pee break.
No, but if you send and say, hey, I've got to go to the washroom, I'll be right back, then we won't send out the question. But I agree with you.
For us older officials, we do need those pee breaks every now and then, okay?
Yeah, they got to cut the ice sometimes between at the end of the second period. It is helpful.
Right. How do you make it through a game then, Scott? I'm just curious.
Yeah, you go right before. And you go as soon as. If you work with 4 officials in a 4-man system, the biggest hustle you will see during that game is who gets to the restroom first, okay?
And it also depends on how long the game is. So
that's right.
You can make it.
I'm curious. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me finish up on the test.
Yeah.
After I send in your attendance, you're going to get, the official will get an email from USA Hockey with a code that allows you to take the closed book test. I have heard, and this is why we're taking our time putting these seminars together, that you're going to have a 3-hour time limit to do it. So once you log in, you've got 3 hours to take the test. Now let's put it this way. You got a rule book in front of you. Use your time very wisely, and you'll be able to answer the 50 questions easily in 3 hours.
Dave, do you suggest using the PDF rulebook possibly on a second computer?
I would think that would be a wonderful thing to do, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Just a hint.
Hey, we have a comment that just came in from our friend Andy Hudson from St. Louis. I would like to bring that out here. Let me see if I can actually add this. Andy says, Brad Baum, it is my understanding that as long as one certified instructor is leading the Zoom classrooms, you can use non-certified assistants. That's how we are doing it with Missouri Ice Hockey Officials Association. So that comes from Andy.
I'm going to revert that.
Thanks for that, Andy.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to say, actually, we're stealing Andy's idea for the level 1s. Missouri came up with this where it's 2 weeknights and then on ice, and we're stealing it from them. It was such a great idea. There's no way not to invent the wheel. So let's just use their idea for it.
Thank you, Andy.
Nice. Thanks for that, Andy. Appreciate it. Yep. Thanks for watching, as always. And thank you. For those of you who didn't get to see Andy, Andy was on with us last week, and I apologize because we did have some technical issues with some audio. But Andy was a fantastic guest. We'd like to get him back here again. He does a lot for hockey in Missouri, and he was just a wealth of information. So it was a pleasure to have him on last week. And as we continue this, Brad, have you got questions for Dave with regard to what's going on? I know you're kind of in the loop on everything, but I'm just curious as far as the instructor thing goes, because a lot of the guys have helped. I know last year I had the pleasure of being able to help with the level ones with my broken leg and try to walk around and help during the class. But how do you become a certified instructor? What's involved in that, and how are those people chosen? Or is that a chosen situation, or is it something that you have to go to a class for? How does this work exactly?
So the way certified instructors works, especially in our local and some of the bigger locals, is you can petition USA Hockey. So there's a form you fill out online, and you can put in for it, or you can go to your local and ask them to submit your name as well, because no matter what, USA is going to ask, hey, who is this person? So you always want to be good with your affiliate and the local referee assigner group. And you can go out there to Colorado. You take a week class, and it's a good class. I'm not going to put it down at all, but you're in Colorado Springs or in Lake Placid. Is that right, Dave?
Yep. Well, we sent almost all of our officials to Colorado Springs.
Right, but there's two sites. I know that because who knows who's going to be on.
Yeah.
And it's at the Olympic Training Center. The facilities are amazing, other than, you're up in the altitude of, God only knows what, and you have to drink 10 pounds of water a day in order to not get sick, which I believe 2 years ago we sent somebody out there and they got a little ill. But you go through a bunch of classes. They give you some new knowledge of a big data dump now, because it's online, which it used to be a binder that they used to give you, which they don't anymore. And it's a good experience. You meet officials from around the country. You get to share ideas with people that you might not ever share ideas, and make friendships too. So if you want to be a certified instructor, I'd suggest talking to your local, because you still need the affiliate to subsidize you and say, hey, yeah, we'll do this. We're very lucky in Illinois here. Illinois is very good to people that want to be instructors. So it's a great program, and if anybody's interested, I'd suggest it. And then the only difference is I'm lucky. I was part of the last group that's a certified instructor for life. The new groups after that have to be recertified every 5 years, correct, Dave?
Yep.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Does that mean going back to Colorado, or are you able to do it online?
You do it online.
Yep.
Or the Midwest referee. Well, Shelby Brown, our Midwest referee in chief, will have a meeting and bring in people, a recertification meeting. To keep going what Brad was saying about how to become an instructor, I would suggest going to the RI referee in chief, submitting your name, but for years, we've taken assistant guys who've already worked in the program as assistant instructors to send out there. And then there is some commitment that we ask. When we do send you out there, you're going to be a seminar instructor, because in the past, we've had people who take it, then all of a sudden they disappear. And it is an expense for IHO to send someone out there. And so the first 2 or 3 years, we ask you to work not just 1 or 2 seminars, as many seminars as you can. So normally everybody's going to work like 6 or 7 or 8 seminars. And that's really where you learn a lot of things also. I mean, I really enjoyed doing that when I came back from Colorado. And to be very honest, I learned stuff there that I teach in a class. Then I took that class, in fact, with our Midwest referee in chief, Shelky, I want to say back in 2005 or 2004. It was a long time ago. And
I was out of high school 4 years.
You're young stuff. What can I say?
All right, well, I've got a question, because we have some changes this year. with the way that we are registering and the number of items that we need to take care of with registration this year. So first of all, we go to USA Hockey. We register. I think it's, I don't know, for a level 3 or 4, $90 or something like that.
Correct.
But we used to go to the IHOA website at that point and get a seminar. Where are we right now with seminars as far as the registration for IHOA and what we need to do?
Okay, I would suggest registering with USA Hockey as soon as possible because you have to do your modules, you have to do your online. Also, because of our Congress, everyone has to be screened. It's a $30 screening fee. If you're 18 and over, you have to be screened, even if you've been screened in Illinois already. It's a national mandate. It's coming out of Washington, D.C. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way to get around it.
So this is a new screening in addition
Yes.
to what we have all done in the past. So
Yes.
I personally, I did it already. I believe I have a green light, I hope. But I did it on a Friday, and I think by Tuesday or Wednesday, I already had my green light. So it really doesn't take a long time, but they have to have it done by September 1st. So even though our credentials are good through November normally, you can't work games, is my understanding. Is that correct? Unless you've had this done by September 1st.
Though you cannot work any USA Hockey games that are rostered.
USA sanctioned hockey games.
Correct. So you have to get that done. Now to continue with the seminars, we'll be posting to the USA Hockey site the seminars. So you can go in there, you can register now like I've done, then go back and select your seminar at a later date. So you can do all your modules, you can do your open book tests, and all that good stuff. You're going to have to register with, go to IHOA, you'll not have a seminar to pick. You're just going to, all it's going to be is level and a generic 1, 2, or 3, or 4, just so we know what level, we know what level you are already. Since it's all $25, it really doesn't matter. And there will be no times or dates on any of those seminars. It's going to be there might be, we're still in discussions about that. There might be the actual seminars there, so we have our own copy of what people are registered for also. So you do that, and then you attend your virtual seminar. And we'll get notice back from USA Hockey, hopefully soon after that, you'll get your authorization to test, take your open book test, your closed book test, and complete all your other stuff, and you're a complete official.
Dave, did you submit my test yesterday on Monday?
No, I did not submit any attendance because I'm actually on vacation this week. And you got 7-day drop dead. I really didn't want to be sitting out here instead of being on a pontoon boat, having a Coca-Cola and an iced tea.
I think that's called a blues cruise, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a blues cruise, but we're trying to be nicer. There might be children on here.
Right.
I was wondering why I didn't receive my code yet to take my test.
Correct. That's why you will. And I figured it will be. And plus, there was 4 of us who did a dry run on this, a beta test last Friday. I think it was last Friday or Thursday.
Wednesday.
And it seemed to go pretty good, but like I said, there's going to be bumps and bumps in the road. So we're trying to iron them out before we ever get there.
I think the beta test went really well, and the registration process for USA Hockey to sign up for a seminar was actually flawless. Like we searched it after Dave created it, and we could see his screen, and he created it, and no more than 30 seconds later, we were able to find it, sign up for it, and away we went. So it was good. I mean, kudos to them. Man, sometimes stuff doesn't work that well.
Yes, sir.
It was good.
Yeah, I know there's some comments on social media about, just navigating the site a little bit can be a little tricky. So I'm glad to hear that they have that all lined up and it's easy to do.
So what I'm going to try to do is send out an email once registration opens here in Illinois with a step-by-step process of what you should be doing. Because even for me, knowing USA Hockey site, and being on a lot, it still took a little bit for me to find exactly what to do.
So the good thing is, you're good. The good thing is, I can tell you underneath the USA Hockey website, as long as you highlight over the officiating tab at the top of the screen, that's where you need to go. It'll show you to go register for a classroom, I think it says, or something like that. It's all right there underneath that tab, and they actually separated it. You don't have to click 4 or 5 times. So it was good for me. I mean, normally I'm lost, but I finally found it this year.
Okay, we have a question right now, but before we do that, I want to remind everybody again, please, if you're joining us and you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet to the channel, we are trying to move everything over to YouTube for the most part. So you can go to YouTube and search Ref Room. Please hit the subscription button, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you can be notified when we do go live. So we need to get to 100 subscribers so that we can have a custom URL, something that's nice and easy to use, okay? So we can send you the link and make sure you guys can get to these weekly meetings we do. We do this every Wednesday. We do it at noon Central. And our next question comes from, let me put this
happy to say we have
comes from
more subscribers.
Stefan. For level 4s, is there going to be a skating test? It's a little hard for you guys to see there. Put that right
No,
there.
there is no skating test. There'll be no ice for 2, 3s, or 4s.
No skating test. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question here. If you take the level 4 this year and there's no skating test,
Yes.
you know, we have some guys that can't skate level 4. How's that going to work?
Well, officially, Scott, right now, my fat ass can't skate level 4. So I've had 3.5 months off, and I haven't sat this long in a long time, but I'm sure Dave there, Bill, put me on a game to get my ass going, which will be hilarious for them too. And I wouldn't expect them
you always have bands, even at the Mike Split Ice level. I always see you at the bands, Brad. So you don't have to worry.
Well, Mike Split Ice is my awesomeness, except for full moon days.
Yeah,
full moon is bad with my parents. Sorry,
Brad says amen to Brad. Yes, absolutely.
There's my best friend making fun of me. He's been making fun of me the whole time. So.
Yeah, I want to say a special shout out to a few people. I know Gary was in the building. Jack Raslowski was checking us out. Pat Sullivan's here. Nick Levin. So Matt, to all the guys that are checking us out, we appreciate it. We are taking questions, and we have Mr. Zednik here who can answer a lot of your questions. Maybe we should talk a little bit about scheduling. Are you comfortable with talking about scheduling, Dave?
Sure. I think the more information out there, the better for everyone.
Okay. I think a lot of the guys ask the question, like, how do they get the better games? What do they need to do? Maybe you could give us a little rundown on how you guys, do you rank the officials in Illinois? Do you have these are our top 100 officials, or the guys that will wear the bands versus the guys that may not get the bands? And how does this work? I mean, what's like the background? You guys must have a meeting and talk about who's going to work what games.
There's myself, Mike Nargi, and Bill Furman are AHI assigner and also TBM assigner. TBM is the site for non-USA hockey games. And by the way, every game being played right now is a non-USA hockey game because they are not issuing rosters. That's what's the difference between USA and non-USA, is the use of a roster. So since there isn't there, and as far as ranking officials, it's evident, pretty evident to anyone. You go out there and you see a guy skate, you know whether you can have the bands or not. Or work high school, work college, it's not that. Probably the hardest skate that right now is Bantam double and triple A games. When you have those, it's 2-man, and those kids are going up and down the ice, they're checking. I mean, they sort of do it as a service to the kids by having only as 2-man, because it's a very hard skate and you're really working hard. So that's where we look at as an assigner. Who do we put on those games? We know who the good skaters are not. And to be very honest, the hardest thing, I turned 62 years old, unfortunately, so I'm aging. So I basically stopped banding any game except for a 4-man high school or a midget game, because I can, you can still skate that. I can line games. I will not do any three-man. It's a self-evaluation process. I think it's the hardest thing for an official ever to admit. I can't do that anymore. The way I look at it for myself and talking to other officials who've done this, when it stops being fun and becomes a job, don't do it anymore. Hockey should be fun. You go out there, you're interacting with a coach. Yeah, you might be yelling and screaming with him, just being a total donkey. But you know what? You can still sit there and have fun doing it. Talk to the kids. I mean, this last weekend I was with the kids, and I went up to a kid who did a reverse check on a no checking. I go, that was a great play you did. You got to do that next year when you're a band. You can't do it as a peewee. Did it in front of coach, and the coach thought it was great that I interacted with him. And I told him why he was getting a penalty.
See, and that's when you know you have a good coach. Because I'm going to give you an example that I had a kid that jabbed at the goalie about 4 times after the whistle, and I gave him a penalty for it. And I explained to him what I was doing, and the coach was like, "Oh, just keep doing it." You know, he was just grumpy. That kid proceeded to take 3 more penalties of the same nature during the course of the game. You know, that's where you got to have a coach that, you know, supports what you're doing. On the other hand, we had a kid that got a 5 in a game, and paramedics were called, and the coach from the team that got the 5 in a game thanked me for giving him the 5 in a game. So, you know, they support it too. You know, these guys, the good coaches know, they understand it, and they get things. So, you know, I like when you have guys like that out there.
Scott, you try to say that communication is key.
Yep.
Absolutely. We are in the communication business. If you are not a personality and talking out there, working these games, it makes it a lot tougher. You know, having a good rapport with any of these coaches that you see on a regular basis makes all the difference in the world. You don't want to be that guy that walks in the building and the coach goes, "Oh, no, not this guy." You don't want to be that guy. I mean, I think that's how I got in the AP program. I said that on my sheet that you fill out the questionnaire, and Aaron, I don't want to be that guy.
Well, we made it. Well, she turned it online, and we kept going online for that questionnaire. But hey, Dave, since you mentioned rapport, how do you build a good rapport with coaches with the games that you work? I know, is it a sign, or you guys have a rapport with coaches, organizations, all that? How is that built from the official standpoint when they're on the ice?
First thing, right now it's hard to do because of the COVID. You can't shake their hand before a game. But you can still go up and say, "Hey, coach, how are you?" You know what I mean? Talk to them, how you doing? And that, what I was taught years ago, if you spend 2 minutes on one bench because it's your buddy coach one team, spend 2 minutes on the other bench. Find something to talk about. Try to keep the same amount of time between the 2 benches, just so it doesn't look like you're the home referee. I know this guy is going to get every call. So you do that. You talk to the players. During there, they know what's going on. They're having a good time. Out there having a good time too. So you talk to them, and you know, I hate to keep going back to USA rule book, but there is something there that says officials are teachers. I have a big problem with officials who call a penalty and not telling anybody what the penalty is. Because what's going to happen is like you had with the one kid who was jabbing the goaltender. If he doesn't know what he's doing wrong, he's going to keep doing it wrong. So you know, it's that first call and then telling everybody what's going on. That really helps. That's how you build a rapport.
I think we've got a couple questions, so let's bring a few of the comments and questions up. Let's see.
One, because I saw it come up already.
Here's one. Anybody want to go to Minnesota this weekend? They have 280 games this weekend. So if you want to go to Minnesota, there's your invite, everybody. Somebody says there's echo. Are all you guys experiencing echo out there? Sounds pretty good over here.
So there was echo at the beginning, but apparently it faded out because Mr. Razlowski is texting me during this and making fun of me.
Okay, very good.
So it must be on Brad. And his spacious, it's his spacious house.
I think it's just the coughing. It's the COVID in the background from him every weekend, you know. All right. Next question comes from Blake. Blake Butler wants to know, are there going to be online Zoom seminars this season? I think we kind of covered that, Blake, but, you know, yes, there are. And Dave, if you want to elaborate on that at all. please.
Lake Illinois official
Fours are all online.
Okay.
And they are Zoom. And officials are going to have to do them on a computer, hopefully a tablet. Because of that attendance problem, we can tell. If you do it from your phone, you're probably not going to get attendance at that seminar. So you're wasting your time also.
Yeah, when we did the test, Dave, I did mine on the iPhone originally 2 weeks ago. Right. And trying to do polls is almost impossible. Like it works, but there's such a big delay. I would suggest doing it on a computer because I did it next week. Do it on a computer.
All right, so one of the guys says he's still got echo over there. So if do me a favor, Brian, if you're hearing echo, go ahead and put it in the comments if you're hearing echo still. I think, I don't know. It sounds perfect to me over here. TJ says there's still echo. So is it echo? Tell me who it's echoing from. Is it echoing from me, or is it echoing from Brad or from Dave? Somebody throw that in the comments, and we'll try to address the situation.
Probably.
Well, the coughing is in stereo for sure, but that's just what we do weekly.
I hit the cough.
He says yes. That really helps. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
They are begging people to wear games up here, all the might and squirt games you want. Okay, I'm guessing that means Minnesota, all the might and squirt games. Well, actually, we have a lot of games here in Chicago this weekend, and in fairness. One of the things I want to mention, now we do have when Dave refers to the TBM site, that is the Three Blind Mice site, which looks like the IHOA site. There is also another website for you guys, and that is the Horizon site that runs through Bob McPherson. It runs through Mike Wagner. Steve Denzer, I believe, is Steve Deinzer, sorry.
Deinzer.
And who else is on that puts games up through that site? I know Jack does some games, but that may not be through the Horizon site, I don't believe. So, guys, there are other sites as well for you to get games. So if you are a newer official and you're not familiar with those sites, feel free to email us or something like that. We'll put you in contact with the right person. Because I know if you're a newer official and you're looking to work games, I know that, one of the hockey directors, when I first started, was nice enough to give me a couple of people's email addresses. Reach out to these people. They're looking for people to do games. They want good people. Am I right, Dave? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for someone who can skate. That's a big thing. It is hockey, so you should. The other thing is someone who hustles. If you're in the right spot, and even if you make the wrong call, you're in the right spot, you can sell it. To the coaches, to everyone there. But if you're making goal calls from the blue line or the red line, and I mean the center red line, it's very hard to make that call, even if you're right. And if the coach starts questions about it, it's very hard to say, hey, that's the call I saw. Well, guess what? You're out of position. It's very hard to sell that to them.
Yeah, that's men's league positioning.
I was going to say, I think you differ. I had a 4-on-4 men's league game last night. Nobody had a problem with me being anywhere calling a goal.
Well, that's different. That's 4-on-4, but you get into it. When you get, the way I look at it, we're getting paid to be out there. Roughing a game. You have kids where parents are paying anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 a year to have their kid play. And the most complaints we get is that guy didn't hustle. It ain't that he didn't know the rules. Everybody basically knows the rules what they're doing. But the problem is, didn't hustle. He just stood out there. He was making calls from the blue line. He was checking his phone. Come on, guys. You're getting paid. It ain't a huge amount of money, but you are getting paid. And parents pay a lot. You just want to see some hustle out there. They can live with bad calls.
Yeah, we are the only professionals on the ice, guys. I mean, we are the ones that are getting paid. The coaches are getting paid, too. In a lot of cases, they're not, to be fair. At the AAA, probably at the Central States level, yes, they are. But if you're doing a house league game, that could be a dad or somebody that wants to become a coach that's just really helping out, being a good person and giving back to the community of hockey. So, yes, that is absolutely true.
The one thing is that's why I'll state, that's why they give me games. I hustle, but I'm probably not near close enough. And some coaches have tried to point that out, but they never win.
You know what? I've had coaches over the years request me as an official, not because I'm that great of an official. But one coach told me, I like it because I get sweat equity out of you. I see you sit there sweating and you're moving the whole time. He goes, I don't have to worry. Sort of calls wrong. Who cares? I care, but you know what? At least you're moving and you're hustling. And that's what I see as a signer. That's what I see in Brad and Scott. Is they're hustling out there. They're moving. You don't
I'm going to get like 50 texts right now.
Well, I'm just going to
come from my buddies. They're going to say I don't hustle, by the way.
I'll throw this out there, guys, because, they offer some skating sessions. If you have not been to the skating sessions, IHOA does this throughout the year, and I hope we're going to do it this year. I don't know, Dave. You can tell us about this, or Brad, because you run the development. But we get these sessions that are available to us to go learn how to skate like a referee. Skating like a referee is very different from skating like a player. When I first came to refereeing, speed-wise, no problem. Can I skate backwards? Can I skate forward? Yes. Looks terrible. Choppy as can be, because I was a winger chasing pucks, okay? We don't skate like players anymore. So if you want to learn how to skate like a referee and learn edge work, I think edge work is probably the biggest thing for referees. That's going to give you the ability to be able to get up and down the ice with the least amount of effort so that you can continue to hustle throughout the game, and learning that edge work is critical. And I know we've had a number of instructors that have done a great job with that. Brad, I know you have done a great job with that. Jameson has done a great job with that. Aaron has done a great job with that. Gazzardi, Nick West, all these guys, everybody that's really been the guys that have been teaching these classes. I thank you for that, because it really makes a difference. And I think if you guys work on this and hustle, you will find that you can really improve your skating, and that will improve your refereeing, and it will get you some better games, because you're going to look better out there too.
Hey, Scott, I think edge work is definitely essential. It's more essential to us surviving on the ice, not us getting up and down the ice. It moves us out of those tough situations as we get involved in play, which we try to stay out of as much as possible. But the biggest key that I've been trying to teach in the past year and of the development program is how to cheat. And I'm not saying cheat like hustle-wise cheat, but there are ways when you officiate to conserve energy by stopping at the center line. If you look at a three official system, you'll see, if you're well-knowledged, you'll see the referee, as the play stalls at the neutral zone, the referee will stop right at the center line. A, because you can't get hit by the puck. Well, you can, but you're more likely not going to get hit by the puck. B, it allows you to take a rest during the play, because if you're busting up and down the ice 4.5 minutes, that 20 or 30 seconds is conservation of energy. So we teach you to cheat in order to conserve energy, and in a three official system, especially when you are chasing U16s, which U16s play the long way of the ice, U18s play the short way of the ice, and they check a lot, and they hold each other up a lot because they're smarter players. You don't have that many home run passes. As you learn that, you learn to cheat, because you do want to be there for that call. And you want to make sure that you're close enough to the play and you're a zone behind. Now, I like to be a half a zone behind, but that's me. It depends on your officiating and what you're comfortable with. But we try to teach you those skills, and on the ice show you what we're talking about. It's easy to talk in a classroom or a Zoom meeting, but it's more difficult for officials because we don't get on the ice and practice. And when we get on the ice, and I can physically stand here and say, this is why we stand here for a face-off, and then put people in front of you, people understand. So that's one thing that we're doing. And I hope all the clubs were very generous last year. I don't foresee that being an issue if we get hockey going normally. If we don't, unfortunately, if everybody has some rollerblades, we can find a big parking lot and do some stuff. But other than that, I don't have a lot. Dave, do you have anything to collaborate on that? Did I miss anything? I don't think so. You've been overseeing it. Craig Welker's been overseeing it. I know all of AI has an assigner, so I don't think I missed anything. And then again, Joe Gazzardi and Nick West have helped me a ton, and then Michelle Lichterman's been doing our social media. So we're trying to be out there as much as we can.
You covered it all, Brad.
Sorry. Went on a little.
So, Dave, if you could give one bit of advice to any of the referees that are out there watching, what would it be?
Hustle. Just hustle. Try as hard as you can.
Good advice. It's good advice.
I'm kidding.
How about you, Brad? What would you do?
Quit while you're ahead. No, I'm kidding.
That's directed at me, I'm sure.
Come over to the dark side, especially younger officials. 14, 15, 16, 17, you're still playing hockey. And I started at 16 on a bet. And my buddy said, oh, you last year, and I've been doing it 21 years. And I love it more than I did playing. I don't know if it was because I was a bad player, but I don't think so. But shut up, Dave. The good thing about it is you get paid to skate. I don't care whether you're the best skater or the worst skater. You can develop skating as you officiate. And when I first came to officiating, I was not a great skater. I mean, Dave might still say that I'm not, but I'm a much better skater now than I was when I first started officiating. And that was because of Joe Prescott, Craig Welker, TJ Likens. I can go down the list. Derek Martin. I mean, there's a lot of guys that helped us out along the way and made me a much better skater. And I was lucky. My dad understood the game, so I understood the game. I just couldn't keep up with it. And if you're looking to get some extra ice time and make a couple bucks, I don't see why you wouldn't officiate. It makes absolutely no sense. You get to pick when you want to ref. If you're playing, and who doesn't want to get on the ice? I mean, I was lucky enough to referee 4-on-4 men's league last night, and I had a blast. Even though I got yelled at by the guy slashed the goalie, and I called a penalty, but it is what it is.
All right, so here's a question for both of you. Would you rather have younger officials, or would you rather have the guys in their 40s coming over and starting to work the games that have been around the block a few times?
Go ahead, Dave.
To be honest, I love younger officials because you know what, they want to get out there and actually work game and learn the games. You get the older guys. What do they do mentally? They fall into the men's trap where they just don't, like we said, they don't want to skate. They sit there. They don't want to do it. Younger kids want to go out there. They want to work the game. They want to hustle. They want to learn a whole bunch of stuff, and that's good for them. And I hope it does do a lot of good things. There's scholarships we give out every year to the seniors. You apply for it. We pick out 5 kids. Each get $500. That's a pretty nice little scholarship for one-time scholarship. At least you're getting something. But I mean, working with younger kids, I think is a great way to do it. What do you think, Brad?
I'll take anybody from any spectrum of life. That was a big pushing point that the development program made this year. I didn't want to discriminate between young, old. If you're 80 and you get up and down the ice, I'm fine with that. If you're 80 and get up and you can't get up and down the ice, guess what? You can still come to classrooms and learn some stuff. And you know what? Maybe you'll work a mic game with a kid that can get up and down the ice and teach them something. I think development goes much further than just our younger officials. I think if we make better partners for ourselves in the older ages, middle ages, which I like to refer to myself now because I'm 37, a crafty middle-aged veteran. But the better partners that we can make, I think we're better off as an officiating community in a whole. Because we still all have to work the games together, and if we have 100 games on a Friday night because there's a big tournament, there's a filter down, and I might be on game number 20, and I have to work with a guy that's never ever worked that game, or 2 officials that have never worked that game. And the better I am, I can get them through that. That's fine. But it'd be better for them to have at least a basic understanding and knowledge of what they're getting into before they get on the ice. And I know, Dave, that's not a knock at you guys. It's just reality.
Yes. So, I agree with you.
There's nothing you can do. How many games do we have on a Saturday night, Dave? I mean, on a typical Saturday night in Chicago, how many referees do you need? How many games have you got? Because I know we are booked solid.
We have way too many on Saturday night.
Right.
I mean, just absorb. Everybody wants to play on Saturday because, and I talk to club presidents, I talk to the managers, and I go, move. I think it's very foolish when you have the Falcons playing and the Bulldogs, two Northside teams, on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock, a Pee Wee game. If you played it on Tuesday, I'll put, very good officials out there in the game. But then what do they end up getting? Two young kids. Then they say, well, these kids shouldn't be. Well, unfortunately, on Saturday nights, guys like Brad, you, Scott, will go to your college games. So we lose you for that. You lose you guys for that evening. So it's a filtered down effect. There's just about every rink plays that are full capacity every Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it's foolish.
I agree. I mean, I know personally I would love to see more games Monday through Thursday. The guys are there. The teams are there practicing. It's not like the excuse, well, we can't have them out at that hour of the night and, they got to go to school the next day. They're in the rink. They're already skating. They may be skating harder. They're at practice. So even the guys that are riding the bench are skating hard because they're at practice. So I think that, I would love to see more games Monday through Thursday. I'm sure a lot of the officials out there, if you guys are out there watching, if you'd like to see more Monday through Thursday games, give us something in the comments to let us know. But, I'd like to be busy. I'd like to be doing doubles on Monday nights and Tuesday nights, okay?
If there were more high school games during the week, Dave, you know that I'd skate all the time. But there's 2 nights a week. Normally Monday and Wednesday. I don't skate. Wednesday's my day off from work as well. It's my only solitude of the week. But I would probably skate if you could put together a high school varsity double on a Wednesday. I'd be there. If you put it on a Tuesday and a Thursday, I'd be there. I mean, you would get better officials with more experience because the games are available, which then would also counteract the trickle-down effect on the weekends. Because those better officials would be working those games on Tuesday or Thursday, and they wouldn't have to go out Friday night or Saturday night. They could stay home with their wives, girlfriends, families, and then you would get the younger officials that may need more experience. But you also get guys like myself that I'm a junkie and I love to be on the ice. So I just think it's a good culture. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I could be nuts, but
unfortunately, it's not up to us as signers to schedule the game. We just schedule officials. The teams and the leagues put together their schedules. And the New Triers, the Loyolas, the top teams don't want to play on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They only want to play on Saturday and Sunday. So, unfortunately, we get that. Scott, go ahead.
I was going to ask you too, Dave. I mean, you're really an insider here in Illinois with all the rinks and the presidents of all the organizations and everything. Are all the rinks doing okay? I mean, are they going to make it through, the close downs and the tough times that we've had? Are we going to have all the teams that we had? Are we looking at like a reduction this year, do you think? Or where do you think we're going to go from here?
You know what? I know of two associations, not teams, but full associations that have not made any plans for the fall yet. They're waiting to see what happens. Then there are other ones that have been skating since when we were able to skate, May 26th or whatever was the first day you could actually do 3-on-3s and stuff like that. So I have a feeling everybody's chafing at the bit to do it, but they also want to do it the right way. Which leads me into another thing that I want to get into for all of us referees. Each rink is different for their own COVID policy. Me personally, what I'm telling everyone, and I've been doing myself, come to the drink, come to these rinks dressed. I know two rinks already. There's going to be no locker rooms in. Period. The end. This last weekend in Bensenville, I was doing Mike games, and the kids were dressing out in the parking lot, right up in front. Parents were carrying them in. They let us referees use the locker room, which I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. And they're opening up the ring 15 minutes before your game. So once you dress real fast, you might as well come most of the way dressed, run your skateboard on the ice. A lot of rinks are also making you sign hold harmless, some type of COVID policy as you get in there. So you have to do it. If you don't want to do it, then let us know. We won't assign any games. Or we'll assign you different areas.
Speaking of Bensenville, I mean, I was at Bensenville over the weekend observing some games, and I got to say, I thought they did a really nice job. The staff was there; they were cleaning. They went around and sprayed the boards everywhere where people were. They took care of all the high traffic areas. I thought the staff did a really nice job as far as that goes. I do have a question though, and that is, you have teams coming in from California and Vegas that were playing together, and teams from other parts of the country that are on the 14-day quarantine list here in Chicago. How are those teams able to come in and not have to sit that 14 days before they were able to play? I mean, they're flying in to O'Hare. O'Hare is part of Chicago. So how does that work, Dave? Is there an exemption because it's youth sports? Are there some special circumstances? Can you elaborate on that at all?
Well, as we saw, all these games this last weekend were in the suburbs. The quarantine is the city of Chicago and Cook County. So all these rings weren't in Cook County, and if they were, what I've been told are these teams, it's where you're staying. So if you're staying in a hotel out, Melrose Park or wherever, Elmhurst, and you're playing in Bensenville, your location is actually Elmhurst. So it isn't in Chicago, it isn't in Cook County. So now you can get away with not doing a 14-day quarantine rule. So that's how they got away with how they got around the rule that's there. It's mostly done for residents coming back.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I mean, as we speak, I mean, in my industry, there are some new rules and subject to interpretation and how things work. I understand it. We're now possibly talking about Wisconsin on Tuesday being on that list as well. That'll be really interesting because, people will go over the border for the weekends or whatever the case may be. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Anything else you guys want to cover today before we start to wrap it up? We're coming up on 58.
I'm good, Scott. We got through 58 minutes faster than we've got through anything else. No offense. I mean, I love all of our other guests, but we got through it real quick.
We're doing a running clock. We're 3:20 runnings here, okay?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, first of all, Dave, thank you very much for joining us. Brad, always a pleasure. Guys, everybody that tuned in, we really appreciate you. Please go to YouTube, search Ref Room, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. You could certainly do it on the Ref Room on Facebook as well. We have the group and we have a page up there. So this way you guys will get the notifications. We will be back next Wednesday at noon Central. So we will look forward to you guys joining us. And we have a special guest next week. We will let you know who it is during the course of the week. So you got to check your Facebook page, okay? All right, guys. Anything else? Last minute closing thoughts, Brad?
No, I am a meat potato. Just keep going.
Dave?
I want to thank you guys for having the ref, to having the site, and what you guys are doing to get the word out, and inviting me to be here, and at least getting out what is the actual truths out there. There's too much speculation going on, and to be very honest, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'm easy to get a hold of. I've got too many email addresses. And you guys, call me, I'll gladly answer any questions. At times, I tend to be too blunt, but you know what? Sometimes you got to tell the truth to people.
No, we appreciate you because we do know that you do return emails and text messages or phone calls or whatever. So that goes a long way with us as well, and we appreciate all you do for Illinois hockey and coming on the show. We were really glad that you could come on and give us these updates because there are a lot of questions out there, and we want to make sure everybody is getting the correct information. So guys, get registered. Register with USA Hockey. Look for the link for IHOA. Get your background screening done. That needs to be done before September 1st. Start working on your modules. Start working on your open book test. And then we will get ready for our seminar and our online closed book test.
The only thing we forgot to mention, Scott, is this is not a USA Hockey IHOA sanctioned event.
No, it's not.
Our opinions are our opinions.
That's right.
Yep.
So you want to give the legal disclaimer, go right ahead. Yes, we are our own people. We are not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. So, yes, we will ask those tough questions you guys don't want to hear, and we will expect an answer because that's the way it goes, okay? So thanks for joining us, everybody. And thank you for all the comments, everybody. Appreciate it. We will see you next Wednesday, all right? Let's leave you with a little music on the way out of here. Take care, guys. We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next Wednesday at